So, welcome. This is the first time I'm actually doing this, guys, and bear with me. We'll get a better setup going. But what I wanted to do is a general reading for the week ahead. This is going to be a general reading for all signs for June 4 through the 10th. And the way I'm breaking this down is we're going to have our first card here is going to be for Monday, Tuesday. This one will be Wednesday, Thursday. And this card here is going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll see what messages we have in store for us for the week ahead. And you'll have to excuse my shaky camera work here. I need to get my tripod set up for future videos. But here we have our Monday, Tuesday card. And this is 10 of Air. This is a card that says, the end of a difficult situation, embrace the change and expect things to get better now. Recovering from an addiction. Now, this card I know sounds really heavy to a lot of people when they first hear it, especially if they don't have any kind of drug or alcohol issues, or they're not involved with anyone that has drug or alcohol issues, and they may kind of feel like it doesn't apply. But what I want to explain here about this is that addictions can also be any kind of negative pattern, any kind of negative cycle that we've been experiencing, whether it's repeating toxic relationships or unfulfilling romantic relationships where maybe we're not being treated fairly or we're not being treated right. For a lot of you, this is going to be, I'm hearing, I'm sensing, I'm feeling, ending a pattern of not being appreciated. So maybe this could also fall into the path of career for a lot of people. Maybe you're giving a lot of yourself and you've been that person that a lot of the time you're the first one to show up, the last one to leave. You give, and if you're lucky, you get kind of like a pat on the back and not a whole lot more, if that even. And so it may be coming to a time for you where you're deciding that you're done. You're done with this. You're done of giving so much of yourself and not really being fairly compensated. And so for some of you, it's going to come in that way, breaking that type of a cycle or a pattern. Now, for me personally, 10 is a number that I always associate with completion and completeness. So this is telling me that not only are you taking a stand, you are being done with this life lesson once and for all, so that this pattern is not going to be repeating itself again. For a lot of you, this is going to be ending a negative thought cycle, a negative thought pattern. The air cards here have to do with logic, with thought. So it could be where you're ending a negative pattern of like kind of going circles in your mind, maybe like judging yourself or having negative self-talk or self-deprecating thoughts. You're changing that record in your head. So be proud of yourself. That's definitely no small feat. But Monday and Tuesday feels to me where maybe we're kind of a little bit getting back into the grind of things, getting back into the schedule, and seeing things in our day-to-day life that just aren't working for us anymore and deciding that we want to put an end to it. So be on the lookout for that. Now, moving over to our Wednesday, Thursday card here. Ooh, this is a major arcana. So this is kind of a crossroads. This is like a life lesson, a life pattern. So this to me really signifies what we were receiving here, like the end of a cycle, and ending the cycle is connected with your life purpose, your life path, what you've kind of come here to accomplish in this life. And this is balance. So this is the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, waiting for perfect timing. So we already know Monday and Tuesday, you're fed up. Like you're done. You want change. Okay. Wednesday, Thursday is basically telling you, patience. Patience is key. It's going to happen. You don't have to tell somebody off and go storming out the door. You're ready for the change, but the change is not going to happen overnight. You have to walk before you can run. I'm throwing all these like cliches that you'll have to forgive me, but they're all very, very true. And so, basically, Wednesday, Thursday is going to be getting into that balance, like really figuring out the plan. How are you going to do it? What are you going to do? What are you going to be juggling here? These two cups here. Um, uh, I'm also seeing, in this card, these beautiful flowers here that are around Archangel Zadkiel here, who is actually also really helpful with releasing. But to me, what's jumping out to me in this moment about the flowers is it's giving me a feeling or an idea of like ideas, beautiful ideas, creation. So you're probably starting to get a better idea of where you want to see things going for yourself, creating your new life in your mind, creating that mental plan of what your end game is going to be or like what you're trying to work towards. But then also just keeping in mind that you're going to have to be balanced. You don't have to do it all overnight. You don't have to rush yourself. You don't have to push yourself too hard. This is also for me, the major arcana cards. I have noticed when we're at that crossroads, we do get into a lot of fear-based thinking. Like that negative ego will come up and it'll start telling us, this is taking you too long. You should have figured this out by now. This is taking you forever. Like you always mess everything up. And there's just like negative playing record in your head. So, again, balance, just try to be aware of when you're having these thoughts and acknowledge that you had them and just say, okay, all right, thank you for showing up. And I'm choosing not to hear this. I'm choosing not to believe you. And then force yourself to have or to think the opposite thought to that negative thought. So, for example, if your thought is, you can't do anything right, then you would replace that with, um, I'm really great at thinking outside of the box. I'm really great at finding different ways at looking at things. Or there's many things that I have done successfully. Even if you don't believe these statements at first, just keep doing it. And I can tell you from my own experience over time, you do begin changing that voice in your head and you do start to be a lot nicer to yourself automatically without having to make such a conscious, deliberate effort to do it. It does take some time, but you're going to need it for the journey and the road ahead. Because here you're fed up, here you're wanting to move forward, but patience is going to be key. Pay attention to your thoughts. That's a big part of it. And now let's come into what's ahead for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I call these like the thought pop-up days. For those of us maybe who have more traditional work schedules where you're so busy, run, 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 run during the week, and then when you do have a day or two off, you might have some time where you're sitting still and you're thinking, and again, or you're around friends or family and you discuss with them what you've been thinking. So this is an appropriate card. This is Nine of Fire, and this is not giving up, protecting what you've created, having courage, and believing in yourself. So in other words, this could be maybe as you're sharing these ideas and these thoughts with like family members or friends, they might start telling you, hey, like play it safe, just be glad for what you have and don't go too far out on a limb here. Or, like don't think about making drastic changes, just kind of suck it up. This is life. A lot of people aren't happy with where they are, just deal with it. And your life doesn't have to be that way. Now, you don't have to do anything crazy and drastic like, go in and quit your job out of nowhere and run away and join the circus or something ridiculous like that. But you don't want to go the other extreme either to where you're forcing yourself to try to fit in a certain box or bubble that's not working for you anymore. And the people that love you or care about you may kind of try to reason with you to do that just because they love you and they want to make sure that you're safe, and they want to make sure that you're not creating a scary situation for yourself. But, if you're doing the whole thing with the balance and the planning and being logical, then you're not going to create a bad situation for yourself. And you're going to wait for the perfect timing. So in this card here, this is just kind of not giving up. Okay, don't get discouraged. Um, Protect that which you've created. To me can also mean like you don't have to share all of your thoughts with everybody, because not everyone's gonna, see what you see. There are people who maybe are like gonna rain on your parade. They can be dream killers, so to speak. And they don't mean to be. It's not that they hate you or they like want to be negative. It's just their way of trying to look out for you. So big changes, I think, coming up in the week ahead for a lot of us. This may resonate with you. This may not resonate with you, as it is definitely a very general reading. But I would like to do more videos like this in the future. You guys will have to let me know. You'll have to comment if you like this format, if you would prefer to see them done separately by sign, by a zodiac sign, if you would like to see them on a weekly basis, a monthly basis. So this is all very new. We'll figure it out and we'll see what works for everyone. But I'm wishing you all a wonderful and fabulous week ahead. Love and light.